It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE, right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I'm your host, Young Anthony of the Titantron and Classic Match Classroom, joined as always by my co-host, Boney Storm.
I'm that fat ass, baby.
Oh my god.
J-Bone of coming down the aisle, as well as the MVP, Marco himself. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing good. I didn't even know that. That's incredible.
Yeah, I caught that one before we went on. And oh my
That's
goodness.
me, Bodie Storm. I'm here, guys. I'm here live.
You're live. We got a stacked show for you here today, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of Outside the Ropes news. First show in a while here in the UK for the WWE coming up very soon, as well as some very interesting NXT reports. Nash Carter, of course. Well, first of all, Courtney is in the chat, and just the
how much do you pay her?
Just that Young Anthony support. Drink it in.
It says young Anthony is the stuff nightmares are made of.
This is what dreams are made of. Nash Carter, we're going to talk about on Outside the Ropes. Plus, we have a special guest who might be popping in a little later on in the show. We have some other topics to get to. Plus, Boney Storm here is going to be giving his first ever NXT report. He's still watching the show as we talk, and I
am watching it. Yeah,
he's gonna give us an in-depth analysis later on in the show, so you want to stick around for that. Plus, we're gonna talk about it. Who won the week? Raw versus SmackDown. Which was the better show? All of that and a boatload more.
It was AEW Rampage. They won the show.
AEW. Before we get to all of it, however, let's start off the show, as we always do, with a little bit of
Outside the Ropes.
Outside the Ropes right here on the RAWDOWN. Starting off, it was announced today, actually, some breaking news right here on the RAWDOWN. The first UK show in a big stadium, premiere, what are they calling them? Premiere live event?
Premium live event.
Premium live event. First time in a while. First pay-per-view for the WWE in the UK in a long time. Do you guys have a number when the last UK show was?
I think you said 30 years. I think it said
30 years.
Yeah, that seems about right. Because I think, they did like a few pay-per-view events in the way back in the day, but they were only available on Sky Sports, back then.
Okay.
Like Rebellion and those kind of things. But as far as official pay-per-view where it's broadcasted worldwide, I think that the last time was 92 SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium.
Yep.
So this is going to be the first UK show for the WWE in a stadium for a pay-per-view in Cardiff, Wales, home of Mason Ryan, the only Cardiff, Wales wrestler in the WWE. Anyone remember Mason Ryan?
Unfortunately.
Anyone? No? Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Batista ripoff.
Batista ripoff. Oh my! I remember the backlash of just like Mason Ryan versus Batista. Anyways, that's not the point. As we have some people in the chat here, Tyson just rubbing salt in the wound. Yes.
You know what, Tyson? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like
Tyson hates us. Like he definitely hates me, but I think he just hates
you're
RAWDOWN.
You're hateable.
I'm hateable. I'm okay with being hateable. Hate me if you will. Yes, we don't have a championship still. The clowns over at the Honor Society.
The frauds. They are frauds.
Yeah. If you watch their show, hope you didn't, because that's a waste of an hour. But if you did, you saw that they're holding our title hostage. But it doesn't matter. WrestleMania Backlash. We're gonna get that title back. I'm gonna get that title back. But we need to work together because we need the title back on Raw.
No, I'm working on my own. Okay, like screw you guys. You guys were the ones that made us lose the title to begin with. I'm on my own. You guys can suck it. All right.
That's such a bullshit take. You were the only man that put Seth Rollins over Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was trying to do work. I was trying to make sure we had the title in hand.
Well,
And
you
guys
tried,
just got
and
to
we don't have
follow
a
the
title.
leader. Let's play follow the leader here. Well, you know
Ridiculous. Jaden Sneed is also in the chat. Thank you for joining. And this son of a bitch is here.
The fraud is here.
Ace.
He got
Thanks
lucky.
for dropping by, Ace. Hope you're around to, ever come to the RAWDOWN, but obviously,
Yeah, he's too
honor
scared
society.
to show up to the.
He's pretty
RAWDOWN.
scared to show up.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we're gonna have to take matters in our own hands
I
eventually.
think so.
We're gonna have to come up with a plan. I was thinking about this. I think I have a game plan. Hear me out here. We, as the RAWDOWN, should write a strongly worded email to the Honor Society. Well, not we. You guys should write a strongly worded email to the Honor Society and CC me on that email. Like, I'll sign off on it. Like, sure, whatever you guys say, I'll agree with it. And then send that to President Sneed, and Acefield can read it, and then maybe we get our title back.
Well, or why don't you guys do what I've been doing and just infiltrating their comment section and let them know how much frauds they are.
True.
Go ahead, comment on their video and let them know. RAWDOWN fans, go there, comment on their video and tell them what kind of frauds they are. Like
we need
over there holding
this
champion hostage.
We need like a hashtag to that our fans can post on the Honor Society. What about hashtag fraud of honor? Hashtag fraud of honor.
Or how about
spam that in the chat?
Dishonor society.
That's the one. Hashtag dishonor society.
That's what I've been going with.
RAWDOWN. Spam the chat. Hashtag dishonor society. And show your allegiance to the RAWDOWN, because we mean war. And we may mean war in many ways. We'll have to discuss that on a later term. But
hey, you want a war? You're gonna get one.
Oh boy. Well, we hit the outside the ropes intro, and we were talking about UK show. Of course, we got off topic because our champ is awful. But let's talk about the UK show. First time in the UK in over 30 years. Last one was possibly SummerSlam 92, which
pretty sure
arguably is one of the greatest pay-per-views of all time. So there's a lot of high expectations for this show. Let's start off with J-Bone. What were your initial reactions to the show, and what are you expecting to see from a show of this magnitude?
Well, if you notice the date of that show, I'm not sure anybody knows the date because not a lot of people talking about that. September 3rd. September 4th is supposed to be All Out.
Yep.
So that'll be the first weekend when we're going to have an AEW and WWE pay-per-view going on the same weekend. So that is going to be really intriguing. I think they're going to definitely pull out all stops. I wonder what that's going to look like, because that's going to be a month after SummerSlam. SummerSlam being, well, I saw that, Tyson. Anyways, but I wonder what that's going to look like with that being the month after SummerSlam. Are they going to really? Are they going to try to pull out all stops for this show, or just maybe have a hangover off of SummerSlam?
Well, this is kind of what I want to present to you guys. Like, do you think this is going to be like an actual pay-per-view, you know, in terms of like Survivor Series, SummerSlam, or do you think that they're going to go like the Crown Jewel route, where they make these kind of super shows and they put all these big talent on it, but it doesn't really mean anything?
I'm trying to think
grand scheme of things.
What was the September pay-per-view last year?
Was it one of those Saudi Arabia shows? I'll look it up. Start talking. Marco, give me your thoughts.
I think if anything, it might be a super show. I don't think it'll be like a continuation of like SummerSlam or anything like that, where SummerSlam is one of the main shows that they have. And obviously it carries on, to Survivor Series, which is the next big show. But then you have Hell in a Cell's on earlier now. It's not even in October anymore. So that kind of changes things too. So now you have like SummerSlam, the Survivor Series of book stuff. So I think in between, I think for that show, they're just going to pull out all like the main, like the European stars. Like you see like Drew McIntyre, you see Becky Lynch. You know, it'll be like matches like that. Nothing to really, you know, move a storyline along. One of the rumored things is obviously, depending on if he still has a title, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre for that. But that's obviously a SummerSlam match as well. So
yep.
I don't know.
By the way, the September pay-per-view last year was Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules, that's what it is. Yes, the horror show. That's right.
Yeah. No, not even the horror show.
It
last
wasn't
year,
that
Extreme
that was
Rules.
The year before.
That was Roman and Finn.
That's right.
Damn.
With the heartbeat, the jump. Yeah, all right, I remember that.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is a show that does carry on storyline. So
right. Exactly.
So is Extreme Rules moved, or is it going to be in the same month?
Well, here's my whole thing on this, and it's good that you mentioned the Drew McIntyre point, because I feel like it would be a missed opportunity not to have Drew McIntyre in a match.
Yeah.
On this show in a huge capacity. And honestly,
hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I know that Roman, and I've been preaching Roman should hold on to that title for 1,000 days. And I think it should still happen. However, if there's anyone to take the title off of Roman in the perfect situation, it's Drew at this UK show. Drew McIntyre was the one when he was world champion. He was pushing for a UK show, so he finally gets it.
Yep.
And, of course, Drew McIntyre still hasn't gotten that big title victory with the proper crowd reaction. The first one was at Mania 36 in front of no fans. The second one was in a random Raw episode in front of the Thunderdome. This could be his opportunity to get the title so that he's finally the top star that clearly Vince wants him to be.
Well, they got to do some work. I do. I mean,
absolutely.
I do like that assessment. I mean, they got to they got to do some work with Drew, or maybe they just go with Roman and Drew right here. Try to save it off. Don't put it on SummerSlam. Don't put it on anything like that. Leave it for this pay-per-view, and then you just have Roman go over. You know, continue his streak there, and that it's kind of interesting to see how they're going to do with this title, this unified title now. You know,
because the whole issue now,
weird.
and we're already seeing like Roman's challengers, as much as you can stretch it out, Roman's challengers are very lacking. We're just seeing it now, and we'll talk about it later. But already he's going with Shinsuke. Yeah. So
well, they normally kind of go with an unlikely winner, you know, off of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
A weaker opponent. I'm going to say.
Sure.
You don't go right into the heavy hitters. Right.
Plus, we haven't even heard about the shakeup yet. Maybe we can get like a draft or a shakeup.
It's time to shake things up just a little bit.
So here's another topic that we didn't really think that I actually seen on social media, and I thought to myself when I'm been watching SmackDown and Raw after WrestleMania, there's a lot of crossover matches happening already.
Yeah,
I honestly think there isn't going to be any more like brand split.
Right.
I think you're just going to see a lot, like they're unifying everything. They're eventually going to unify the tag titles.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be a shakeup essentially anymore. You're just going to see the same faces across both. You might see more featured people on like the respective shows, but I think you're going to see a lot of crossover matches. You had Liv Morgan on SmackDown this past week. You had Naomi and Sasha on Raw. Like I think it's over and done with. I think that whole brand split.
Yeah, I mean, even if I'm a Fox or USA executive, I'm going to be like, I want Roman on my show.
Yeah,
I want Cody on SmackDown. You know, like why do we have to pretend like there's this rivalry when we don't? You know, so
they don't.
Anyway,
need it anymore.
that's I guess that's we can talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, I mean this could be. The end of the beginning of the end. Look at this guy.
Freems is here with a raid. The numbers haven't changed yet, but we might be getting raided in a second. We might see those numbers going up.
Raid.
So if anything, this might be an honor society helping us out. But still free.
Well, look, Freems is actually.
There it is. 33 viewers.
Freems is going to be actually on my show this week, and so he's definitely the most honorable member of the Dishonor Society.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Freems, there's a mutual respect between.
He's a great
RAWDOWN
guy.
and Freems. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Join the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, no. So putting a bow on this UK show, seems like a big deal. As long as they book it properly, they put the right assets there. This could be a really big opportunity for them. Plus, it could be an opportunity to have some really big moments, possibly such as Drew winning that title. We're just gonna have to wait and see on all of this.
I would try to book that pretty heavily with going up against All Out.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. That
100%.
I mean, it's not going up against it technically, but go with it being the same weekend. It's going to be easy to compare the two. You know what I'm saying?
To be the first All Out without Cody or Kenny too as well. So they got to book that shit heavily as well.
Yep. Look,
well, I mean, Kenny could be back by then.
That's a possibility. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on to our next topic here.
Hey fellas,
this fucking guy.
Oh,
I heard somebody mention the Dishonorable Society.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah, I'm here doing my president. I'm not in presidential mode, but I'm always watching. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just wanted to plug real quick since you had to go on and talk about the Dishonorable Society, you can tune into the Honor Society Thursday at 7 p.m. on YouTube, where you can find our champion. You can find our champion, Acefield Retro, who's in the comments.
Your champion.
Speaking, I mean, I agree. Get your plug in, but I got to plug something as well. So Tyson kind of brought this up early. There might need to be two belts. He said it, resurrect the World Heavyweight Championship. So I think I'm going to do it since I was the second, to Acefield. I should have been first. I'm going to bring in the interim. So I'm going to be the interim champion over here on RAWDOWN. Yeah.
Run that through my office and we'll see what we can do.
No, this is
run that through your office.
No, this is
what is
the
this?
interim
Hold
champ
on
speaking here.
Are we giving
champion?
Are we giving Civil War?
I came the closest to beating Acefield. He has our title. We got to work together. We need representation on this show, and that is me.
What is Tony Khan booking this show? What are we doing? Interim champion?
Not the guy in the comment section.
The bots are booking the show.
I'm the real champ. I'm the interim
bots
champ.
are booking the show
all the way until WrestleMania Backlash. I will be holding this title proudly for us.
This just keeps getting worse. This is awful. This is awful.
This is a great idea. This is the greatest idea ever. All right.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about this.
I mean,
but if you want to tune in and see a real champion, it's Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Don't worry.
Honor Society.
I'll be there. I'll be there commenting along to make sure that people know you are all frauds.
This is like
make sure.
It's weird that your comments never show up though.
Yeah, because you block me.
Yeah,
so.
It's weird like that your comments.
This is like Taz bringing in the FTW to ECW. It's my own.
That's not too hard. That's not too hard to outpace talk.
Never recognized, right?
President. All I'll say is, although we may be in the comments section, just make sure you lock the doors on the tavern for the Honor Society. Just make sure you lock those doors.
Make sure they're stomp proof too, because
we have Secret Service. I am the president, so.
Hey, well, let me introduce you to my Secret Service, Ace and Stronghold, and we're here to fuck you up, son.
That's crazy. It's crazy you mentioned Ace because Ace is the champ. So,
well,
right,
you know what
champ.
beats Ace in the game of battle is another Ace. Just gonna say that.
Oh boy, keep it over here. Thursday, 7 p.m. Honor Society. President out.
The worst president in all professional wrestling podcasts
Yeah,
God,
I'm
he
not
is
running anything
awful.
by him. This belt stays interim until WrestleMania.
You see,
Backlash,
let's talk
so-
about this. So this is complete bullshit. You think you can come in here, bring your title that you how much did you spend on that
Yeah,
title? Over
yeah.
I mean,
over
I don't even
200 on
remember. It
that
was like
title?
so long ago. This is the Jax one that you've got to like Target, like the cheap ones. It's not like the actual
Jax
belt. What do you think I'm rich?
This is
But yeah, no,
this
we
is
need
ridiculous.
representation on the show, and I was the closest to beating him. I was there.
Well,
Right.
how about just beat him?
I mean, I will.
Could be
Yeah.
a pretend champion. I'm the tag team champions.
I'm the tag team champions.
I was the last champion from this show, so I'm still declaring
And
myself as champion.
and guess what you did?
That
you
is
didn't
such a
defend,
lie.
You didn't defend your title. That's what you didn't
Mhm.
do.
You did
So,
not
I
get a
mean,
single defense of that title.
The tights were pulled.
Foot on the ropes, all that stuff.
Foot on the
I know.
ropes.
He pulled my tights, ref.
I was like this on the ring apron. I was reaching
There
in.
was a ref bump and
I
everything.
was so close.
Look, you can hold on to that little title for as long as you want until
it makes you
WrestleMania
happy.
Backlash. And
and then I'll
I
have
mean,
it fully.
I'm the
thought we were
champion.
gonna- I thought, oh god,
No, we're all-
I thought
this
we
is-
were going to be a little union here.
We
but
are a
apparently
union.
We're still divided.
With me
I'm
as your
the champ-
champion. That's what
That's
the
ridiculous.
union is.
I'm the
Well, I'm
champion.
the champion, but we're all
I'm
a
the
union.
tag team champions.
I'm literally the tag team champions.
Tyson has no say in this. He says he's the tag team champion.
Tyson actually, he kind of gave the segue. I mean, he helped out a little bit.
I don't
Helped-
care. Tyson can go to Dishonor Society or whatever show he wants to watch.
I'm the
next.
tag team champions.
I'm the tag team champion.
All right, let's get back on track here.
All right, let's get back on track.
Okay, so Nash Carter. Wow.
Oh man,
I shouldn't even put his comments up
No,
here.
interim champ. Yeah.
Well,
off
no.
all his comments.
If we're
Hey,
gonna move on to the next,
Bravo's spelling Taka Michinoku correctly. Good job.
hey, he definitely copied and pasted that
Yeah,
shit.
he-
Anyway, if we're gonna do this, we got to do this right.
You're fired.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. I suppose you're fired. How the hell are you gonna get fired on your day off?
You're
Nash
fired.
Carter, you're fired.
You're fired. Get out of here.
You're fired. You get out of here.
China.
Get out.
You're fired. China, you're fired. Yes, Nash Carter, in a huge scandal, wins
Yeah.
the NXT Tag Team Championships. Then Kimberly, who is a wrestler over at Impact Wrestling, I don't know if she's there anymore, but apparently,
Yeah.
yeah, we all saw the tweets and the pictures that were posted of Nash Carter. Don't have to get into details of it because
He's trying to get it in Imperium.
and
He's showing Imperium. My God.
I wonder what they're going to
Oh, that's
rename
great.
him. Maybe Adolf. And thus
That's
we
funny.
see the end of Nash Carter in NXT,
Dang.
which has
Yeah.
left the titles vacated, which we'll get to those in a few moments. But I don't know.
Yeah,
what were your
we'll get to
thoughts?
that
Let's
in
start
a
with
few
Mark.
moments.
Let's start with Marco. What were your thoughts on all this?
Obviously, kind of abrupt. Like I seen a lot of outpouring for like a lot of his peers saying, he shouldn't have lost his job, that type of stuff. So, just know the details on the surface. Yes, he should have. I don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't know him personally. We don't know, all the outside stuff. We're not going to get into that. But just winning he won the tag team titles and then lost them on his day off, essentially. Just
How are you going to get fired on your
how you
day
go-
off?
how you going to lose your titles on your day off? And I just feel bad, for the team in general, man. They're like, obviously MSK was like one of the premier tag teams on NXT 2.0, or NXT in general. Obviously, they probably would have been brought up to the main roster at some point because the tag team division's kind of lacking, and
Sucks.
not kind of.
Yeah.
It is.
Weren't
lacking.
they getting tryout matches like they were doing the dark matches and stuff? Or was
Yeah,
that someone else?
so, yeah.
They
I
were.
believe so. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're going to get moved on at some point, but obviously not. Well, one of them got moved on.
Yeah.
Not with the company at all. But it's always unfortunate when someone loses their job, but the circumstances behind it
Right.
kind of I mean, everyone has their own opinions on that whole situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
and that's what bugs me a little bit is people are like, they have their opinions on, whether I'll say it, whether abuse happened or not,
yeah,
and it's kind of a shame that in this society we have the Twitter jury out there, and
yeah,
I don't really know what happened. I'm not trying to like take up for the girl because we don't know what happened. That's what I'm trying to say is we don't know what happened.
yep,
And that's not why he got fired. He got fired because of his stupid Hitler picture he put.
Yeah.
Up,
Yep.
That's why he got fired. That's what people got to realize. He did not get fired for the allegations. He got fired because he had a freaking Hail Hitler picture.
yeah.
I'm sure both played into it though.
Yeah, it was mainly the picture that I've seen, and then like obviously the allegations didn't help.
Because right after the
his pace.
picture got posted, like that's when everything really happened.
Oh
Right.
yeah. That's like I said. It definitely didn't
sorry.
help. It didn't help the matter that the allegations came up after that. And I seen a lot of people saying, like I said, a lot of his peers saying like, oh, that picture was old. He was young when he did that, and
so what?
People change, and which people. I mean, people do change.
They do
You're not always the
change.
same.
They do change, but look, if you're trying to get into this public eye, don't put pictures of
Like
you dressed
you're
like Hitler.
representing like a national company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have your
Multi-billions.
champion posting something like that, even if it was like a few years ago. Like you got to understand, like, when
It was
you're
a joke.
wrestler, like for the most part, you're aiming to go to these big companies.
Right.
Back when he posted this picture, the main company was probably just WWE. So a lot of those wrestlers work towards their goal of making it to the big league. So you need to be able, that's the first thing that they teach you in any high school, college, whatever it may be. Obviously college for me, your social media presence and what you post stays on the internet forever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if, you post something and you delete it, it stays there forever. They teach you this in grade school. So the fact that he's posting all this stuff and he, now there's all this backlash, and the stupidest part is people saying in the comments section of all these videos and tweets saying hashtag re-sign Nash Carter. Give me a break.
Right.
Like,
Thank you.
You need to understand, like, you need to take, accountability for your actions.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. I don't understand what is going on, why people are defending it, but there needs to draw a line at some point.
And I'm not a fan of like cancel culture and all that stuff. This is getting into political, but this was like blatant. Like, yep, get him out of here. Like,
there comes a point where it's like it's not just cancel culture is annoying. Like,
right.
It comes a point where it's like, come on already. Like,
yeah. There's definitely a line there. And he was not like at that line where it's like, oh, cancel culture,
Yeah.
This was when I saw that, I'm like, oh shit, he's gone. He's gone now.
Yeah, I seen people comparing him to Enzo as well in his situation. And again, that was a totally different situation. That was, that was allegations. It wasn't a picture that resurfaced or anything like that. Like his situation was completely different than that. Like you can't compare the two.
No.
Well, both were knocked out quickly, and rightfully so. If you're the WWE, get rid of anyone who has a bad public image, because that's only going to hurt your company, especially since both of those guys, Enzo with the Cruiserweight title and Nash with the NXT title, you're holding championships, regardless if it's the WWE title or the fucking 24/7 title. You're representing the company on a national level. You need to make sure that all of your champions represent your company to the best degree. Mm-hmm. So that's all I really have to say on that. But
and comparing this to Enzo's is not the same. And I think Enzo gave them a reason because he was getting so much heat backstage. So like, oh yeah, let's get rid of this guy. Perfect opportunity. But you can't compare the two because there were different situations. Enzo went to legal matters on it, and B, Nash wasn't fired because of the allegations. He was fired because of the Hitler picture. So,
Regardless,
sorry.
Yeah. Regardless, the guy is out, thankfully. I wonder what's going to happen with his tag partner. Maybe
I don't know. I feel bad for him. Man.
I mean, maybe he gets pushed or maybe he gets released. You know, we never know. But that's going to move us into our final discussion on the Outside the Ropes. Oh, shit.
Baby.
There he
What
is.
are you doing here?
Oh,
This
baby.
discussion.
It's Tom, the OG Fig Kid, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, young Anthony. How are you doing?
Oh, hell, the OG
I'm doing
kid.
pretty good. Are you going to hit the button? You see, I'm catching on to these things. I knew it. I knew it. All right. So for our final topic on Outside the Ropes, Tom wanted to present this. Tom, talk about your topic.
Well, you know what week this is, guys. This is the famous week when all the releases have been happening, the major releases in WWE for the last few years. So I figured we could throw around some names and kind of guess if they happen, because I have a little bit of a hot take on my first one. Wait, let's press the button.
Where is it? Here it is.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
So, not that I want this to happen, but I'm predicting if the releases do happen this week, the shocking name is going to be Alexa Bliss. They brought her back. They did that whole thing with the her talking to a therapist. They brought her in for the Saudi match. Hasn't been seen since. They didn't even bring her to WrestleMania. Somebody tweeted at her, "When are we going to see you again on TV?" And she tweeted back, "Not up to me." And that's it. So I would not be shocked to see her cut this week.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Similar fashion of the Fiend. Hope not, because I love Alexa Bliss. I just got her brand new Ultimate Edition right here today.
Yeah. Use code Tavern to save 10%.
Use code Tavern. An awesome figure, man. It doesn't even pictures don't do this figure justice. But go watch the
Let's talk about Alexa Bliss for a minute, because she is someone that I can definitely see getting released, as much of a hot take as it is. Because of how she has not been presented on TV, I feel like this is a case of like the WWE has no idea what to do with them, and because they've been vocal about it, like they're probably just gonna get cut. What do you guys think, Marco, J-Bone?
I don't know. I mean, it could, because we've seen some shocking releases.
She did just get married.
She did just get married.
Guess who else got married when they got released? CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Well, CM Punk left. He didn't get released. He just quit.
Well, he got fired the week.
Yeah,
we got fired on the day of his wedding.
That's
got FedEx papers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could see if it does happen this week. Which I don't know. It seems. I mean, obviously, it's always quiet before something like that happens, but it seems kind of. It would. They mentioned her on Raw. That's the whole thing. For like a title shot. For the I don't know. I mean,
I hope not. I love her.
I mean, they brought her name up, so they ran down a list of women that deserve a title shot at Bianca, and her name was one of them. So who knows? I don't know, but it would definitely suck if they did release her. And if it did, it's not because of her talent. It's because of she married Ryan Cabrera. That's her only downfall.
Ryan Cabrera.
Yeah.
What's going on, Twitch viewer? Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to keep watching. Even if you go on YouTube, drop a like. Goes a long way.
Follow us, please. We appreciate your support. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. J-Bone, any comments on this one? Because I have a
I mean, it would definitely be shocking. I just I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to see it.
Yeah.
I would be surprised. I'll just say that if it happens. And I know we've seen a lot of surprises over the last 2 years, but I mean, this would just be kind of shocking. So
I will follow button back if you follow us.
Absolutely. So here's a name that I would not be surprised to see, although some may be. This guy might be getting released.
Oh boy.
Hello, my name
This
is Ezekiel.
This is a classic case of
Debut.
carrying cross. Give him a gimmick, doesn't work, cut him quick. Ezekiel is probably just a quick way to see if anything can click with Elias. He's been gone for months, and I don't see anything happening with this gimmick. I think he's going to be cut quickly.
Wait, didn't you see the picture of them together? He's not Elias.
Yeah.
No, I know he's not Elias. His brother is going to get released.
Yeah.
Elias is going to stay. He'll eventually come back. But
Yeah,
Ezekiel,
okay.
he's probably gone.
Well, actually, I'm not. I kind of enjoyed the little promo backstage segment with Kevin Owens. It was mainly because Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made it possible, but he's actually in my way here.
You stared at his abs.
I
Yeah.
like Elias. I think the guy is good at what he does. I hate that they kind of changed the gimmick like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm also curious to see where it goes and if they can make it work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah,
He's got a good
yeah.
look. Like even his new look to
Kinda
him
has-
and everything. Like
His face kind of looks like the Brooklyn Brawler's face if you look at it.
He looks like a jacked Howard Stern.
Get some sunglasses on that guy. What else? Met Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles.
I'm going to predict 2 more: Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz.
Ooh.
I thought it would have
about
been.
this one?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like Shotzi too at some point.
Wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. That's another one that's just wasting away.
Yeah.
Well, let's break this down one by one because we got a lot of names here. Let's start with Apollo. Apollo Crews, obviously former IC champion, gave him a new gimmick. Thought it was a pretty decent gimmick until the whole stuff with his accent and everything. And I was like,
The gimmick was terrible because if he would have come in like that, it would have been one thing.
Yeah.
Like when you just change a guy to that in the middle, it didn't work.
Yeah, well, they didn't. If they didn't like Anthony said, they didn't have to change his accent. Like he didn't have to go. He could do the whole embrace my heritage.
Yes, 100%.
Thing without doing the accent. Like that's fine. That's like
Excellent.
That's like Kofi going back to the Jamaican accent. If they he just comes out one day and starts doing, Kofi Kingston and all that stuff, you're like,
hey man,
Right.
boom, boom, or whatever.
I could see it. I mean, I think Apollo's pretty valuable as a wrestler in WWE.
But can they
I could
put him again?
Well,
yeah,
and that's the other thing too with the you just said valuable.
I couldn't find a good Apollo picture, so we'll just take.
Like we talk about releases and stuff, but they wouldn't even release Ali. Apparently, if you guys read that thing where it said he's too valuable to the company to lose, essentially. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one I wouldn't be surprised about. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commander Aziz. Yeah.
Have fun in Impact Wrestling, pal.
I mean, they released Shane, so I mean,
they'll
anyone
love that
can be
gimmick
released.
over there.
I mean, yeah, like I said, Shane got future endeavored, so anyone can get future endeavored.
Anyone, yeah. All right, let's talk about Shotzi now, because this is actually an interesting one, because I personally don't see Shotzi getting released whatsoever. They actually just put out a report about her. I forgot where it was from,
What happened to her arm?
but apparently she's been away, but they still are like seeing her as a valuable asset to the company. It would be such a missed opportunity if they released her, because she has a different look. She has a different vibe. I don't know why they turned her heel in the first place, because the tank is such a cool entrance. But it's WWE. Anything could happen. But I don't see Shotzi getting released here.
I hope not.
I hope not either.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else.
Did you see Commander Aziz?
I have a hot take.
All right, go ahead, J-Bone. Oh, hit the button.
Wait.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
My hot take is they're not going to release anybody. Nobody.
I kind of agree.
I was actually thinking of that too. Yeah, it's been usually you get that vibe that it's happening. Obviously with MSK, getting dismantled essentially. But yeah, I mean the roster as it is now. I mean, who else could you release?
I thought the same thing. Like they've thinned it out so much already. There's really not much left for them to release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if they do release someone, or I mean, it's it's a definite because they're not using them. I mean,
And here's why I say that. They talked about, I can't remember who it was, one of these dirt sheets, but they talked about them allowing third party
yes,
things happen again. Apparently, they had a very positive, uplifting kind of morale booster meeting with that. And then you also saw like Triple H, he just basically threw out everybody's salary out there. Apparently, it's $250K for a main roster spot, no matter where you're at on the card. So for them to like lose a couple of people here, I think that would be a morale. That would not be great for morale, and it would be like taking 3 steps back forward, 2 steps back kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
They got such a hot hand going. I would say they have a pretty good hot hand coming out of WrestleMania. You don't want more negative feedback coming from you, or not more. Have negative feedback coming at you. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying,
and I think
none. At
that's
least this
kind
week.
of why we're seeing the spread out of the releases too. It's like instead of seeing it all on one day, they're kind of spreading it out more. Of course, we did see like a whole slew of releases last year on this day, but and the spreading out. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll exactly get like a full one day of it. I guess it's interesting to predict who is going to go, especially after Mania. Like another group that I could see leaving is these guys for sure. Like they're doing nothing with T-Bar and Mace. They're on main event every week. Like, maybe
I'm surprised they're even on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aren't they broken up?
They're broken up, but like,
oh, God,
green jacket, gold jacket. Who gives a shit?
It's even worse. They're broken up, so that's like
even worse. They're broken up.
It's like wearing a plaid shirt with striped shorts.
So let me ask this question then, guys. Who do you think, and now each one of you give your own answer, who do you think would benefit most right now in WWE from a release?
You did that way too well.
I had that loaded up. I knew what the fucking question was going to be.
Who would benefit from a release? You mean like
Malachi Black benefited by his release?
That was so funny. That got me good.
Is there anyone that you think can leave and go be a star somewhere else that's not being used properly? A la Ricochet, but he's in.
Ali.
Yeah, definitely Ali.
Yeah.
Ali's definitely up there. I'm sure there's a few. Finn Balor is a name.
Finn, yeah.
I mean, the U.S.
Finn.
title. He's probably going to lose that U.S. title next week. Like, let's be real against
Theory.
Theory.
But then they'll unify those two titles and have him win the unification match, right?
Maybe.
I wouldn't mind that, honestly.
I wouldn't mind that. I love that you're doing it with the tag team belts.
Get rid of all the titles.
Yep. Combine them all. There's too many titles.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think so? The first name that we mentioned was Alexa Bliss. Do you think that she benefits from being released? Because she fits very well into the WWE system. And
man, it depends.
Like although the whole Lily shit is awful, like I hate the Lily stuff, it's working because the merchandise sales are apparently skyrocketing. With
but that's
Lily
that's
dolls.
because she was like, if they brought her in from NXT, to do this gimmick, then I don't think that we would see the same numbers. She was already a popular character, so people are gonna still like buy her merch. Like they're gonna still be like, we don't like this character, but I like Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, you brought up a good point, Anthony. Like not everyone that releases from WWE is gonna translate over in another company. That's what we really. I mean, a lot of people really have to learn that and figure that out. Alexa Bliss might not flourish in like an AEW.
Yeah, I don't know if she would, and I love her
Impact.
in WWE.
Or
I mean, look at Braun Strowman. He couldn't flourish in any other company than WWE. He had to make his own.
Yeah,
and he can't even flourish in that company.
Well, yeah,
he can't even get a haircut correctly.
So, I mean, it's not even that. It's not like they'll boo her out of the building or anything like that. It's just like the style that that she has might not fit within that like system. Like look at Cody from AEW to WWE. Like that, like just watching him speak and the way his mannerisms and all that stuff, his style and the way he looks fits perfectly in WWE. Like he's a WWE guy. Obviously, he helped create AEW and all that stuff, but if you look at him now, he didn't fit that he didn't fit that like atmosphere, that mold, that like
Right.
that whole style of wrestling. Everything.
I don't know about that. He had that awesome freaking match with Sammy, that ladder match.
He did, but even that, like, he's more.
You can tell the type
his
of wrestler
style
that
isn't
he
an
is.
indie style. It's a
It's
a
He's more
WWE style of
polished.
wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, he's
and
a
he's
polished
able to
wrestler.
adapt.
He's
He's able to put on those matches, but like you can tell that he's like so like even his match with the Miz the other day, like I enjoyed it a lot because Cody is able to flourish in an environment where he's able to be who he is and not really have to adapt.
Yeah.
And that's why he's going to succeed so much in WWE. It's because he's, as much as I hate to like differentiate wrestler and sports entertainer, like he is a sports entertainer. They can't help themselves. They will release some of those not being used. Profit margins, pal.
He's not wrong. I agree with him 100%.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like I said with like I said, just the styles and the way the presentation might not work over. Like Ali, I think he'd be awesome in AEW.
Yeah, he could definitely work in
anybody. Yeah,
AEW.
like
I could see him going up against Wheeler Yuta for the pure championship. That would be.
What about Shayna Baszler or Rhea Ripley? Where do you think their stock is in WWE right now?
Rhea's fine in WWE. I think she's very young, which we also have to remember. A lot of these people that we're considering releasing, some of them are very young. Rhea's 25, so she has a lot of time ahead of her. Shayna's a lot older, and I think that she can benefit a lot in maybe getting released.
I think she would actually do well in AEW, Shayna.
AEW or ROH or something like that.
Yeah.
As long as Ronda's still there, I don't see her getting released.
I do agree with that comment. I do agree with that comment, J-Bone.
That's very true. Any other names? I mean, I think it's not as clear as other WrestleManias, like who is going to get released. Maybe they'll surprise us and throw in some of those like Alexa Blisses, or I'll be honest, like before he had a direction, I was thinking after Mania, Omos was going to get released.
I was literally going to say that. I was going to say
they saved him with that MVP. Like,
especially when he lost to Lashley, I'm like, well, he's done.
That's what it was. That's what it was for me.
They have that plan, and now there's more invested into the camera, into the character, because MVP just elevates people.
Yeah,
right.
And again,
what he does.
Here's my thing: if Omos is not winning a championship, it's a dud. In my eyes, anyway. You can put whoever you want. You can put Paul Heyman with him. If he's not in a title picture, what's the use of doing that then? Giving him a mouthpiece just to have someone talk for him and he can beat people up and that's it.
They got to put him in squash matches. I mean,
there's something.
They got to rebuild him back up. And
my biggest problem with they just don't know how to book big guys like that anymore.
Right.
Like more of an attraction. Like
it doesn't work anymore, honestly. I mean, the
right.
last great big guy that WWE really had, I would say Braun, simply due to the fact that they were able to take what was originally just your typical big man and turn it into what was really more of a character. Like that 2017 to 2018 run for Braun was phenomenal work. But it's because you took he did a lot of fun stuff is what I'm trying to get. It was different. You don't really have that typical like Andre type of big man because it really doesn't work anymore. No one really wants the spectacle of seeing like this really tall guy who doesn't move, like Great Khali. That's like putting like Great Khali in like this day and age. Like, as much as he didn't work when he was wrestling, it'll definitely not work in nowadays when it's more focused on in-ring work and all this type of stuff. It's good for the moments, like Lashley suplexing him and all this type of stuff. It's good for the moments, but like there's a limit to this. And I think MVP putting him with him, it raises it a little bit, but like you're gonna have to put a title on Omos.
They need to send him. They need to really have somebody to work with him to show him how to work. Like, not just be like big man, like Frankenstein. Like, show him how to work. Show him how to sell.
Exactly.
Show up. That's key. I'll give a little preview. We talk about it on the show this week because we're watching CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. You know, Brock Lesnar. He's a big guy.
Yeah,
he's not tall like almost, but but he could sell. You know, he could make you believe when he's going up against a Rey Mysterio or Daniel Bryan or whatever. You know, it's almost like you have Omos versus AJ Styles. You know, because that's a size difference, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But Brock sells. You know, they go back and teach him the fundamentals.
Yeah. Brock's one of the greatest sellers of all time. He doesn't get
yeah.
enough praise for that. He's top 3 easily. I want to get to some of these comments here from Acefield, even though he's a fraudulent champion. Acefield says Shayna could use a release and rebranding through the Indies run and potentially New Japan work. I don't know if that could. Well, New Japan doesn't have a women's division. I mean, who knows? People forget how dominant she was coming out of NXT. I'm not the biggest fan, but she showed a big presence in the NXT women's main event. And they ruined her with the biting neck.
When she was a vampire. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a weird angle.
You got to think that was obviously Triple H's NXT at the time, so he was behind that like believability of her, running through the whole division and then making her way to the main event. And remember, she was like the only person that actually eliminated everyone in a elimination chamber match too. So
yeah, there's so many things that you forget about Shayna and so many of these people.
Yeah.
Okay. This is our weekly plug. Best followers, primes, and viewers on my strm.store. So Rodrigo VSKI 2045. You got your plug on the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope our show
that'll be $2,500. We'll take that.
Split the profits with us. I hope you're getting so many business partners.
Yeah, Rodrigovsky. I can't even pronounce that.
Follow us, by the way, Rodrigo.
Yeah. If you're gonna come in here for cheap plugs, at least give us a follow.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, Bill.
Put that on my show. I'll call you out.
We make movies
all the time. We make movies, pal. Oh, I don't have the. Do I have it? I do.
We make movies.
That's the raise of the eyebrows.
Never know. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's really what it comes down to for the Stardom. Yes, you're correct.
That's about another point going back to Bliss. They brought Bailey and Oscar in for Mania weekend, but not Bliss. How weird is that? And yet the Oscar and Bailey are still not back.
Yep.
Yep. Well, they already said that they didn't have any plans for all 3 of them. There was the report from who was it? PW Insider.
Yeah, you gotta think they already
plans until after.
Yeah, they already had their women's title matches and all that stuff set for Mania anyway. So they were already injured.
It would have been great for a return, on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they've got a hot hand right now. I think even in the women's division, I think they need to save it for whenever they need to go to the well.
Yeah, you get Sonya Deville now just having title matches, so that's
I like it. I'm not gonna lie,
I love that.
I love the angle.
The first time that you're going to see no 4 horsewomen in so long in a title match. I love it. Dana versus Sonya versus Bianca. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all the releases that we can think of. Folks in the comments section, if you guys got any releases that you want to see or you think we'll see, what is it going to be? The 15th is going to be a Friday. Drop it in the comments below. Let us know. Tom, are you sticking around for the remainder of the episode, or are you out of here?
Sure, I'll stick around. Did you hear while you're on in this section of the show? Did you hear about Young Rock tonight? Did you talk about that?
No.
Okay. Then I'm bringing a little bit of news. They dropped a major tease for Rock versus Roman at Mania.
Oh boy,
Young Rock.
Oh wow.
Why is that? What did they do?
They went in the crowd. Rock and little Roman were in the crowd watching a match. And they said, Roman said to Rock, we need to have a match. He goes, we need to do it on a bigger scale. We need to do it at Mania.
Wow.
A little tease is going on. I heard they also did one on the show Evil with Roman's episode. I haven't.
I heard
seen
about
it.
that one.
Yeah, they towards
Little
the end of the
tease
episode.
now, little breadcrumbs starting to come for that. So
yeah, towards the end of that episode, they talk about the rumored Roman Reigns versus Rock match at Mania in LA next year. So
It's got to happen.
I think
There's
it's
no way not
I think it's
happening.
happening.
If it doesn't happen next year, it's done.
Yeah.
No,
It's never going to happen.
they've been saving it for
it's
LA.
happening. I don't think there's going to be any title involved. It's just going to be a
Man,
passing
that's
of the
good.
torch.
It's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
We'll
else on the
see.
title by that time. It'll be
Yeah.
like either Cody or Seth Rollins or McIntyre. One
You
of those
never
guys
know.
will have it.
You never know.
Yeah, I guess they.
all right.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Roman's reign come to an end. I love this dominant, like what he's bringing back to the title, having one guy hold it for so long, because we just haven't seen that in WWE for so long.
Yeah.
Same. Tom, real quick before we move on to the next segment, we talked about the UK show earlier on. If there's the chance that Drew McIntyre fights Roman Reigns for the title, would you want to see him get his big moment in front of a crowd and win the titles?
No.
Okay. Moving right along.
Tom
We
isn't a
have-
Drew fan.
We have I'm very happy that we have this segment coming up here because
Yay.
we have a loser here in our
Yep.
RAWDOWN chat right now. And it's time that he gets his comeuppance for his awful predictions for
Yes.
WrestleMania.
Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and busters.
Boney Storm, you have been chosen to give the NXT report.
Look,
Boney,
I'm
what'd you
gonna
think
be-
of NXT this week?
I'm gonna be positive
Holy shit.
with this with this NXT report. I'm just gonna only give for the good stuff. I'm not gonna drag NXT through the mud.
What?
So, with that being said, I'm gonna give my NXT report. And thank you for listening to the NXT report this past
Oh
week.
my god! All right.
You're the cowards.
I knew it. I knew that we were not going to get an NXT. So there was nothing
No.
good on the show.
No, well, okay, no. I mean,
Natalia debuted on NXT.
yes, she
Yeah.
Oh,
was there.
great. Natalia's on the show.
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
That's
why
my
I love
opinion
it.
on Natalia.
I don't have to see her anymore. Let us stay in there.
Actually,
True.
Cora Jade was worse than her, so there you go. It's
Really?
like, God, she was like a robot. She was like, it was like somebody was typing her like
Yeah, it was.
what for what to say, like just like, okay, now say this. I think you are the best female wrestler there has ever been.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, like, and is she dating
Blake
Darby?
No.
It's Blake
from
Christian,
GCW.
okay.
Yeah, no,
God damn, she needs to learn a thing too from Blake Christian.
All
she had
heart.
beef with Darby. She had some
yeah.
Twitter beef. with
That's what it
Darby.
was. That's what it was. Okay, my bad. But so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was horrible. That was a horrible segment. But the opening match was Cameron Grimes versus
Solo
Sakia, something like that. Bloodline, remember, basically.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me.
It was pretty good match. The ending was wonky.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was a weird ending, like, because it's like you were showing Cameron as the heel, and I don't know, like, then he got attacked. It was just, I don't know. It was weird. The match was good. Oh my god, the women's match.
He's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
I saw Sleepy Girl for the first time. I'm just a sleepy girl. Sleepy girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What's her name?
I
What's
forget.
Sleepy Girl's?
Wendy Chu.
Wendy Chu,
Chu.
that's it. Yeah.
So Mandy Rose is still your NXT Women's champion. and the other two girls, Toxic Attraction. I don't really know names that well because I haven't watched NXT in about 6 months.
Oh, you're going to be watching NXT for a while,
yeah.
bud. Get to the books. Start studying those names.
So those other two girls, they came out.
Love this. This is great.
Gigi Dolan and JC Jane are going to become
Yes.
your best friends,
Yes.
pal.
I sound like Hawk trying to give an AEW report.
It was fine. Didn't really care for the lady wrestling. That's my smoke break.
Not enough smoke or rope shaking.
Cora Jade's on my cut list this week.
Oh my god.
She reminds me too much of Cody Rhodes. No charisma. No, but the sleepy girl came out and like soaked him with water guns. So that was fun. Yeah. So we saw that, and then we got new NXT Tag Team Champions. The Fabio brothers. What's their name? The Deadly.
Oh,
what?
Pretty Deadly. They're
Pretty
the
Deadly.
they're the tag team champions.
Yes, they.
Awesome.
So it came down. I was watching it when we were starting off. So the Creed brothers were on last in the gauntlet match, and they Super Soaker,
Drip.
The Creed brothers are on last, and they beat them in the gauntlet match. So Pretty Deadly.
Yeah,
Have some pretty horrible shirts. So
love the gear.
they have
Pretty
shirts
fucking boring, if you ask me.
Stop right here. Yeah. So that's your NXT report.
I watched the match, and a matter of fact, I fell asleep in the middle of it.
Thanks for reminding me why I did not watch
fell asleep in the middle of it.
That's what I do, just make sure everybody knows not to watch.
So on a letter grade from A to F, what would you give NXT tonight? And be fair.
C minus.
C minus. Wow.
That's I
said
average.
be fair, not be generous.
I know, right?
I give it C minus.
It wasn't too bad. They
had some bright spots, they had some stuff going on with Braun, which are interesting. Braun and Joe Gacy, even though Joe Gacy threw Rick Steiner's Hall of Fame ring in a fire.
The numbers don't lie.
And I'm not sure how that really works because fire and metal, like you have to have a higher temperature fire.
Details.
Anyway,
Vince
It's in the fire, goddamn it! It's in the fire.
Yeah, whatever. But so apparently, he's after Rick Steiner and also after Braun Breaker. But here's the thing: just change the kid's name to Steiner already. Like, what is he? Is he going off of his mother's last name? Like,
yeah.
Is he from a broken home?
He's gonna get hyphenated soon. Braun Steiner Breaker.
You think when he gets called up officially, he'll change it to Steiner?
I don't know.
Nah, I don't think
See,
so.
the thing is with WWE, they like to own names.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the other thing too. Like, let's stop with the people getting mad about name changes. It's gonna happen because these people came in with these names when they were like either in the indies or they came out with them themselves. They're trying to save them from keeping their name when they do leave. Eventually leave anyway. So like when they go back, to another company, they can actually have their name back. So I mean, Braun Breaker, just keep it Braun Breaker. I mean, they probably can't use Steiner. That's actually really funny. But
I don't even know what this means. He writes this every episode.
That's from the Cody. It's from the Tony promo.
The Cody promo when he was talking about his last promo when he buried WWE.
Yeah.
The Gilla Buddy.
Oh, okay. Funny, Tyson. Very funny.
Yeah, watch it.
All right,
Watch AEW, pal.
Watch AEW, pal. I'm watching 2.0 instead.
Apparently.
Yeah. Anyways, that is the NXT report. Thank
Hey,
you, J-Bone, so much for your in-depth analysis.
So that was a good segue, Marco. We could talk about call-ups,
Yes.
right?
Let's get right into it.
Who won the week?
So let's start things off. We're going to talk about the call-ups this week and how we have some new name changes. Walter, obviously Gunther, same thing. However, what I thought was very interesting was that they split up Imperium, and Marcel Barthel is now named Ludwig Kaiser? Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig.
So he is renamed.
Ludwig. Yep.
We also have Raquel Gonzalez, who is now Raquel Rodriguez.
All right.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question about that name? To me, that name change is so insulting.
No, you know why?
Why?
It's because that's her shoot name, Gonzalez.
That's her real name.
She's related. She's related to the giant Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I take it back.
That's her actual name is Raquel Gonzalez. So again, they want to save you from them not owning your actual name because it's happened in the past.
And I guess it's good not to be associated with the giant Gonzalez name, if anything.
Exactly, that's another
rest in piss, Undertaker.
Oh my God. But yeah,
the time is drawing near.
You know, that was one of the things. I think someone had an interview that I read where she said one of her dreams was to keep that name, even when she moved on to the main roster, it was a Gonzalez. But that's, I mean, it's better that you change it. So when you leave, you do have your name, and WWE doesn't own your last name essentially.
Yep. Yeah. They're doing her a favor, but I don't really have a problem with the name change. The only one I really had a problem with was Walter going to Gunther because they did it mid-match.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one I just had a, and then we found out midway through the show.
That's right.
That was one of the greatest moments in RAWDOWN history.
Is that really worse, or is it better because at least they're acknowledging they change it and just don't change it and expect you not to notice that they changed it?
Yeah,
I think it's better they did it that way.
I hated it. No, I hated it.
Well, also think of it the other way because Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him, he had an interview not too long ago where he kind of presented the concept of like, what if it was the other way around? What if Gunther won a match and then he gets on the mic and says, no, the winner of this match is Walter.
I still would have hated it. Like,
well, yeah. I mean,
Face to facts, both names
lose, really.
Yeah,
both names are terrible. Yes,
they both suck. Yeah.
But I mean, this whole splitting up Imperium, I thought about it and I understand why they did it. I think splitting up Imperium puts Walter at the head of everything.
Yeah.
The head of the table, if you will.
Yeah.
And kind of having Ludwig as this new, maybe the mouthpiece as him, as, kind of the mouthpiece for him. I think that keeps Walter in the spotlight. And I like that. I also am not mad at the name change because like Marcel Barthel was his original name.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's his real name too.
Yeah.
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 So
I have a theory behind it. I think they'll use
an Austin theory. Sorry.
No.
Not anymore.
They'll use Fabian. Whether they change his name or not, whatever. They'll use him down the road for like to garner more heat for another situation, like maybe whatever. Let's say Drew McIntyre, right? It's just beating down Gunther, whatever, and then he takes out Ludwig. Well, then out of nowhere is Fabian, and they'll kind of use it to get more heat. That's
honestly,
that's
what
I'm kind of
thinking. Just getting repackaged. If we're gonna be real here, like,
and that could be too.
I think NXT 2.0, that guy's getting repackaged. They must see something in him.
He's really good. He's actually really good.
I haven't really looked into him that much.
I think because he has no hair, that's why they took him out. He doesn't really fit the Imperium.
Wow. Will Smith.
No offense.
Wow, Chris Rock. Calm down.
Having no hair make me really.
It's a G.I. Jane joke.
It's a G.I. Jane joke.
Oh, that was a good one. No, I mean, yeah, I don't think he fit that. And if you look at Imperium, like, I mean, now that you just see Walter and Ludwig together, I don't think Fabian kind of fit with that, like, that crew. I think they're actually going to put someone else.
To include Fabian.
Yeah, I think they might put someone else in that spot. I'm not sure who.
Maybe.
But I think someone else is going to fill in as like a third man at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't think you even need like a third man. I think
you don't.
Ludwig, if anything, is just going to be like the bump guy for Gunther. Like he'll
fall
take
guy.
all the the fall guy. Like he'll he'll do all the talking and he'll do most of the action. When you add in another guy, it becomes like, you know, they're expected to be a trio now. So it's Walter at the head, and now you need a tag team. And I just feel like that's oversaturating it a little bit.
Yeah.
Whereas put the focus on Walter, let him be this, you know, dominant wrestler, and Ludwig is kind of just that guy that's like, you know, like the heater almost, like his Lana, if you will, his Lana to his Rusev, which I like. Honestly, this whole repackage, I know people are really shitting on it, and rightfully so. There's a lot of reason to. I think it's great. I think I don't
hate it. I think it was good.
If anything, like, you know, you can make the argument about the Gunther name. It's kind of growing on me, but
yeah,
I think this is the ideal spot for him to be in. And I think this is going to be the perfect way in a WWE system for Walter to flourish. And what's this? Oh, I just got a text message. Gunther released from WWE. Oh, okay, never mind. we're done then.
Hey, but kudos to Gunther. He looks like he went on the Atkins diet there. He lost
I guess abs now.
Yeah,
for sure. Tom, any thoughts on Gunther?
No.
Okay. Anyways,
when something's working, just don't change it.
Fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Definitely was working. Like it wasn't like a
and I agree. Like when they brought him in, they should have changed the name. I mean, I guess they just had this idea like, oh, well, now we got to change everybody's name.
Yeah,
they're so wishy washy with everything.
Well, they brought him in around the time we were even talking about in what was it last week, that, you know, that from 2016 to 2019 period when they would bring in all these indie guys and they would keep their names.
Yeah,
Triple H knew what he was doing back then.
Johnny Gargano.
That was his love.
Well, that's a segue. Tommaso Ciampa, he's a guy that kept his name. What do you guys think about Tommaso being called up?
Love it. I can't wait to see if they utilize him right. But I just read an interview with him today where he said he's there for whatever they want him to do.
Oh boy,
he sounds positive about it, so he must know something. So
well, that could go a few ways. I mean, being there for whatever you need, we've seen that in positive lights, like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, where it's allowed you to excel. But I mean, it could also be a case of, you know, you get what they want you to do and it doesn't work out, and, you know, the rest is history. So I think Tommaso Ciampa will be fine. There were even rumors that he's going to join this Edge group, which I wouldn't mind. I don't know if he fits, but I mean, I could see it. I would rather him not, but I could see.
I'd rather him not. I'm excited because they need a guy like him up there now. You know, they don't have a guy that fits the mold of being that little guy who could really wrestle and put on great matches.
Yeah.
It's perfect for him. And it's kind of funny because he had always said, I'm never going to the main roster. And now all of a sudden he's okay with it.
Well, that was before Vince took over NXT.
Yeah. He always said he can do the schedule for his neck of like the full time on the road thing. So he even said, I'm here to do announcing if they need me to do announcing. So it'll be interesting.
Acefield says Tommaso should join the Edge group. Him, Rhea Ripley, Edge, and Damian Priest equals
I'll tell you,
money.
I like the idea of Rhea joining it.
I think Rhea works.
A lot of sense.
Yeah.
That would be great for her.
I think they kind of. We'll wait till we get to when we talk about Raw and SmackDown.
I'm just not a fan.
I have a little tidbit on that Damian Priest ending.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. Give me your tidbit. Do I have to hit the hot takes, or is this going to be something we'll all agree on?
I It might be. I don't. It might be a hot take. I'm not. I don't. We'll see.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
That was awful. That presentation was god awful. That purple light does not work without Edge. Like they need Edge. He needs Edge with him if they're gonna continue this like thing going on. Like Edge at ringside, something.
Well, what didn't work for me was what was quickly becoming a highlight for me at the time for Raw. It was a good match. Quickly became a low light when they just like he's like, I quit. Purple light, boom.
Yeah, like no, it's like I said, it doesn't
Lights,
work.
please.
Yeah, that purple light was for like that's what Edge brought in. Like obviously he wasn't there, to be by his side, but if they're gonna bring that purple light in, like Edge should have appeared somewhere or like stood behind him or I don't know. It was bad. Him just staring at the camera, like it was. I'm not sure if they didn't cut away right away or they they kind of messed up on that. I don't the shot. But
were there? I think they were trying to do like a bodily fluid check on the mat.
Yeah. No, it wasn't even that angle. It was that like him staring at the camera. It was like
Right. No, that was
like a vampire. Like, are they doing the vampire thing again? Like,
I tried to get an angle from him staring at the camera, but like if you look at it, you know how Jeff Hardy has that face paint where if he closes his eyes, you see like another
that's
set
what
of
it
eyes.
looked like.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it looked
That's
like.
what pissed me off. I think
that terrible face paint.
He looks like
terrible.
an Undertaker here in the worst way possible.
that's what made me angry. I thought he was wearing the same like eye when he I thought he closed his eyes and he had that like makeup on his eyelids, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "What are they doing? Did they just like fire a dude that had the same face paint?"
Well, AEW stole the Hardy Boys music, so they got to keep something. They kept his face paint.
I don't know, man. That was a no. That was a no for me, dog. That whole match.
Oh,
You could bring AJ Styles down in a match. That tells me something there.
I
For
think
me anyway.
Well, the match was good, but it was just the ending was just weird.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Even AJ Styles looked pissed at like when he did that after interview. He was like, "What the hell's going?" Like he probably didn't know what the hell was going on. He was as confused as everyone else.
The one move where he does like where he's like behind him and he does like this. He's got to stop that.
Yeah,
It's
that move's awful.
Like what are you doing?
Maybe it's like the clap on, clap off lights. The clapper, you clap, and then the lights went purple. That works. Now that's a gimmick I would invest in. Clap on.
Yeah, I don't get that move.
Lights, please.
here's my hot take. You want to hit the button or no?
Oh, hold on. There it is.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I hate this whole Edge group.
I thought you were about to say you hated us, and I was like, wow.
I don't like the whole Edge thing. I don't like him.
You haven't even. It hasn't been 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got to give it time.
I didn't like. First of all, it made him and AJ have a terrible match at Mania.
Oh
no!
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
That is such a hot take.
Dude, the
pacing
was
bad take,
terrible.
actually.
It was slow. I
think that was AJ who made him have a bad match.
And I don't know if it. I was gonna say I don't remember the last time you saw AJ have a great singles match. It's probably been over a year.
Dang. Wow.
It hasn't been good. Like
AJ's so good, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but he's just I almost feel like he's been kind of phoning it in a little bit. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just signed a new contract. He's making a lot of money. He better stop phoning it in and earn that money.
Yeah.
But it also makes you think about AJ's WrestleMania performance, his streak. Well, I will say the AJ Edge match, I expected more from it. But
Me
I mean,
too.
like, just
Yep.
look at his past Mania matches, like him and Edge, him and Nakamura, all were pretty underwhelming matches.
Yeah. Him and Randy was
Something
good though.
about-
Him and Randy Orton, that was a good
Him and
match.
Randy was good.
Yeah.
Him and Jericho was okay. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah,
Something
I mean,
to think about.
might be onto something, Tom. I mean,
You might be onto something, Tom.
And I love AJ, so I it's not like I don't like AJ. He's phenomenal.
so you kind of like flip me. I thought it was Damian Priest that brought that match down. You might be I might have to watch that match.
No, Damian Priest definitely brought that back.
Combo, you know.
Well, AJ didn't help at all. Then if he
because AJ used to be able to have a match with anyone and make it good.
He's a veteran. He's supposed to
I
help.
used to feel like he was like on Shawn Michaels level, and I haven't felt that in a while.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the other thing too is I think obviously this is an AEW show, but I think the amount of like elite wrestling, no pun intended, we've seen on AEW recently, and then you watch AJ Styles, who's also an elite wrestler and doesn't put on the same type of performance that you see from like a Yuta or anybody, Brian Daniel, any one of those guys. It's like, what the hell are you doing, dude? You're the phenomenal one.
But he's had those caliber matches in WWE. It's not like he hasn't.
Yeah, just not in recent memory. You're right about that.
I think it's because AJ comes from the New Japan style of having long matches with a slow build, and both his Edge match and his Nakamura match, they didn't give him the proper amount of time. It was about like 20 minutes that they gave him. If they gave him like,
says it perfectly right here.
I did hit the nail on the head here.
Yeah,
AJ
that's
got
exactly
the
what I was
bag,
thinking.
and that WWE style of ring work has boxed him in. Hasn't been the same AJ we knew in several years. I mean, in WWE, maybe he's at the point where he thinks, do I even need to go all out and really hurt myself even more?
He's old.
Yes.
He's up there in age.
That's why he's resigned. You know, he's like, this is easy. I'm gonna make some money.
Yep.
You know, and his name carries weight.
Exactly. I mean, even with whatever he does in the ring, like he's still AJ Styles at the end of the day. He's still like the best in-ring worker that WWE has, arguably, of course. But when it comes down to it, like, yes, I think his matches have been a little lackluster, but could be much worse. We could be seeing Madcap Moss in the ring. AJ Styles is working down to WWE style. Him and Shinsuke have been coasting for a while because they can wrestle that style in their sleep. He goes on to say, mindless work for AJ Styles right now has not been challenged since the Lesnar match.
That AJ Lesnar match was a great friggin' match.
Oh yeah, that match was actually really good.
It was a great match. I feel like there has to have been something since then that's not been on the level, but like
I really felt like
I think Randy was probably the last one.
Yeah, like the whole once he started.
Or actually, the Undertaker. I mean, even though it was a cinematic
Boneyard
match.
match.
The Boneyard match.
The Boneyard. Here's a quick question before we leave this. Do you think, obviously at his age, he's in his 40s, right? Like late early 40s.
Yeah.
Do you think he can pull off a AEW style fast-paced match?
I think he could. Yeah, he definitely could.
Like, you put him in the ring with Kenny Omega right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's 44 years old.
Yeah.
I don't think he's keeping up with Omega right now. I don't think he's working that fast. Maybe a Bryan Danielson, because Bryan Danielson's like more of he's doing that tactician style. He's doing a lot of holds and.
He had a match. Well, that's a match that I forgot. Him and Danielson had a great match on SmackDown in 2020.
Yes, that's the other one. But and actually, Riddle on SmackDown, he had a really good match with last year or the year before.
Yeah, his IC title run was
the
great.
Omos stuff.
Yeah, it was all before the Omos. Yeah, pretty much after that. But I don't know if he keeps up with a Omega now at his age.
We also have to remember he's 44.
Don't worry. We know his age. If you listen to any Conrad Thompson podcast, God damn, he's 44 years old.
He's the same age as Hulk Hogan was when Hulk Hogan would get this.
Get this.
The rumor innuendo
on the Google machine.
No, but I it's not like. One thing with that Austin match, you could definitely tell. I mean, yeah, great, he's mid-50s. You can definitely tell he's slowed down, right?
Of course.
I don't see how AJ's slowed down necessarily. Like, on a physical level. Maybe hey, I'm just going to go do this and, do a couple flying on forearms and then a style clash and go home.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to.
And here's one more point on it. You look at the guys who are producing these matches now, and you have a guy producing AJ's match where AJ could run circles around him. and he has to
Yeah.
listen to this shit
That's right.
from a guy that's Vince's puppet and doing things Vince's way.
Yeah,
He's got to listen to Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Arya Davari. Oh my
Jason
God.
Jordan's ahead of all these guys. Like, come on, like, well, they send all the good producers.
Hey,
to
put some respect on Kurt Angle's son. He raised him well, man.
Wasn't Tyson Kidd? Is he not doing? Is he not producing
He
any
just
matches?
came back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Just started producing again, and you will notice his matches. You'll be able to tell at the end of a card which match he produced.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he. I guess
I don't see he's slower. I don't know.
I don't think he.
I think he's
keeps up
just
with the-
adapting to it, and I think
I
that's
think you're right. I think so.
it's fine. You know, he's 45.
I think maybe he is slower in the sense of like on TV, yes,
100%
physically, but I think exactly. He's running it there. That's because he's just going by the going with the flow of it. He's just he's got a governor. They got a governor put on him basically. They got a restricted.
Also, keep in mind, like, does AJ really need to go at 100% when he's in the slot?
No.
Well, when he's in the slot that he's in right now on the roster, he's not in the world title picture.
No, he
Like,
doesn't.
when he was in the WWE Championship picture,
he's
he was
going-
putting
yeah.
on those great matches.
Exactly.
Maybe he feels like, Raw tag team titles,
Save your body.
IC title, mid card. Why do I need to go 100% if I could just kind of coast
fair.
until I get another? He's eventually going to fight for the WWE title.
Save your body, pal.
Look at it for when AJ was facing Drew McIntyre not too long ago. That was a great match, TLC match.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like AJ knows when to go 100%. And
Why wouldn't he have done it versus Edge of Mania?
I couldn't
I don't
tell
know.
you.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Good point.
I don't know.
That could
That's
be
a
just a
good point.
booking
That's a good
thing.
point.
I feel like that match still was short. I feel like he
it could-
needed more time.
I agree.
It could have been who produced it. I don't know who produced it.
It could
too.
have been the guy that produced the 2 WrestleMania main events on SmackDown. He produced 2 awful matches and he left. That Buck, Hall of Fame RAWDOWN.
Yeah,
Yep.
see, like I said, like a Danielson would definitely crank it up a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I said, he's more like he's doing a lot of submission holds and that
Right.
type of stuff, and he has that
Again,
that
it's a
pace where-
situational thing, I think, with AJ.
Yeah.
You ready for this? P.D.
Yes.
Williams produced the AJ Styles versus Edge match. Say
There
no.
you
more.
go.
Say no more.
Really?
Hey, can we cut to
P.D.
that?
Williams he's not bad. Like Tom doesn't know because he doesn't watch any other wrestling besides
Now I do.
well, AEW, but besides that,
I
but
watch
you don't
Ring of
know about P.D. Williams. P.D.
I
Williams,
don't know about P.D. Williams either. All I know
Canadian
is he
Destroyer.
was a little Papa Pump.
Back in my day, P.D. Williams was.
Get out of here.
Anyways, all right. I don't want to run this show too long. Let's hit it. Match of the week. I'll start us off. Street Profits versus the Usos yesterday. Great match between two. I feel like they're putting some emphasis on the tag team titles with this new unification angle.
Yeah.
And I think that is so great because as much as we hate on the tag team division, they have some great contenders there. RK Bro, Usos, Street Profits, New Day. A tag team division with those
Alpha
four as
Academy.
the cornerstone. Alpha Academy. Shit, I completely forgot about
Viking
that.
Raiders.
Viking Raiders, if you book them correctly, that's 6
get
tag
cut.
teams right there. Even the Los Lotharios, like Angel Garza, Humberto, those are two
Yep.
great talents as well. If they combine those two divisions, I think we have something great on our hands. And this unification between the Usos and RK Bro, I think we're onto something really nice.
I
Tom,
hate
what
to
was your match of the
correct
week?
I hate
What
to
was that?
correct you. I don't want to I hate to correct you, but the tag team division will certainly be better if they combine it, but it still ain't touching AEW's right now.
Oh God, no.
Well, no,
No,
obviously.
AEW's
not.
tag team division right now is freaking.
I would put AEW's tag division up against 80s WWF tag division.
any tag division ever. Yeah, that's
Ever, yeah.
Yeah,
great. Yeah, I guess Usos. That was a friggin' great match. I just watched it right before I came on here, so yeah, I love that. So
I'm gonna go with
yeah.
adrenaline in my soul.
That's a good
Cody
pick.
versus The Miz. Solid match. And I want to mention, too, it was a great promo, too, by those two. The Miz popped me hard. I was actually texting Tom this today.
Yeah.
He popped me hard whenever Cody says, I'm here to win belts. And he goes, they're called titles, pal.
Yeah.
a belt is what you use to hold up your belts.
I was reading about that. Apparently, it was like planned. Like they wanted him to say like belts and wrestlers and stuff.
But see, this gets me excited because it makes me believe we're leading to something bigger with all this.
I wonder.
He's saying pro wrestler and Miz is like superstars. Like, is this actually leading to something that they're changing in WWE? I feel like yes. I feel like they're finally starting to listen, and I'm excited for it. Last night's Raw was way better than last week's Raw.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
I wonder if like the old Jericho Appreciation Society, when they're calling themselves sports entertainers and everybody else is pro wrestlers, and they're like, aha. I wonder if they're kind of like using that a little bit, to their advantage.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Look, when it comes down to it, I'm a simple guy when it comes to wrestling. I know what I like when I see it, and I know that there was the whole controversy, like even on the Tavern Instagram page, of comparing the Samoa Joe and Minoru Suzuki match against Cody and The Miz. 200 comments on one of those posts. You should go and check out that. Jesus, that was that was crazy. But alas, I was one of the guys who was like, yeah, I mean, Cody and Miz, you could do something better with Cody. However, this just goes to show you, like, one good promo is really all it takes to get you invested in something. Like, and we've seen that multiple times, not just in WWE, AEW. Eddie Kingston, he is the master of a 1 week build. All it takes is one good promo to get behind something. And that Cody and Miz promo really surprised me for so many reasons, including the wrestlers and belts, and just the passion that Cody showed, even that the Miz showed. And we know that the Miz is one of the best promos that WWE has. So to put them together, like, I was expecting a lot less than they provided, and they just completely went above and beyond.
I kind of wish they would have saved it a little bit till after the Rollins feud. But
you could have done that. But I mean, when it comes down to it, like, do you really think that Miz and Cody is like a huge feud? You might as well just kick things off and get it over with.
It's a good filler feud for Cody.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Yeah, because they have the history too as well. Obviously, if you listen to the promo, he talks about that, how much he hasn't changed and all that stuff, and him go like that. That was like you said. It was like, I don't want to say it was like a masterful promo, but it was just great. He was like, hey, Miz, you haven't changed in the 6 years I've been gone.
Right,
and then he goes, look at me. He's like, do you think I changed? Dude, that was right. That was chef's kiss right there. I was just like, wow.
Like, I love that they keep Cody's reference into his time away. Like, it's I feel like it's definitely leading to something. It's fun, and they're treating Cody as a star that he should.
I said that from the beginning. Well, we talked about, well, even J-Bone said that. Like, we said that when he comes into the company, he is in the main event. There's no other where to put him.
Right.
He's going in. He's going to beat whoever they put in front of him at Mania, which is Seth Rollins, obviously. Right. And then he's going to go from there.
I did not predict that because I thought maybe they were going to try to screw him. But hey.
I think it's like I
and
said,
you cost us our title to Ace because of that one. Continue.
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. So I had the opposite. I said no. He's coming in with stock. He's coming in with stock from that outside. Like, if there's one thing that Vince McMahon is going to respect, it's the business that you did on the outside. He doesn't. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say he doesn't care what goes on inside the ring, but if he put something in place that isn't, he made competition for the WWE. Pretty much, like, he was a part of that.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon's gonna go, God damn it, that's some good shit. Come back.
Last week, what I'll say to this comment about giving Cody the SummerSlam
I think it's happening.
match.
Yeah.
I think Cody is going to get the title. However, after last week, you can't do it at SummerSlam. You need to do it at Madison Square Garden.
That's a good point. I thought the same thing.
Everything with Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, I think it is going to be
give Cody versus Roman, even if it's at a house show.
I don't even care if it's televised. I don't even care at all.
That needs to be at MSG. There, whenever they bring up Madison Square Garden, especially recently with the whole Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar thing, when they bring up Madison Square Garden, it means something. So you need to have that moment at MSG. That for me, it doesn't even need to be a pay-per-view. It could be a live event. You can put it on the network. It doesn't matter. That to me is much more impactful than a SummerSlam match.
The only thing is, and I agree with Madison Square Garden, it needs to happen. But the only thing that here is, will Vince, in the first time they face off with each other, or just in general, and then when they face off, will Vince put Cody over Roman at all? Like, this is like super WWE, versus the guy who started AEW. Will he put him over? I think what will happen is he'll have to take an L first, maybe at SummerSlam, and then usually September they do Madison Square Garden show. They come back to it, and he wins the title there.
Sure, I'm fine with that. Builds the story.
Actually, what would be really fun is if they save it to the Madison Square Garden show the day after Christmas. Give Roman a whole year as champion, then you set up the Rock thing. Cody gets a new challenger at the Rumble.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I mean you could do the September thing, but then that bleeds into the first show in 30 years in Wales. Yeah. So what do you do? We're booking it ourselves, but if you're gonna do McIntyre Reigns, it has to be for the strap. It can't be.
Well, if you do Roman and Cody, and this was my whole issue, was that to me, I didn't understand putting Cody over Roman because there's no build to it. Like, let's say the first match they have is at SummerSlam, Cody versus Roman, and Cody wins. That to me devalues Roman's reign. He has held that title for what would be around that time, close to 700, 800 days. You need someone built up properly. To me, you let Cody lose once, and you do it obviously with cheating, the Usos or something. That makes Cody an even bigger underdog. So when he goes into MSG, where his dad fought for the title, it makes it so much bigger. I love that story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they do that first, they're gonna have to do multiple matches because Vince is not gonna let Cody Rhodes on the very first match beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it won't happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't because you need to build the story again. You need to have the rematch, and then two, he's not gonna let the guy who started AEW beat his golden goose.
But he is going to let the son of a plumber or the grandson of a plumber do that. Not the. I mean, they're not. I mean, obviously, like Tom said, they are talking about. He is kind of talking about the stuff he did outside the WWE. But the story is, who his father is. You know what his father held. That's all the story you need. You don't need. You don't have to do that.
Eventually,
if anything else last week, that promo sold me. If anything else last week, that promo was like
it sold a lot of
that's
people.
Exactly
Did you hear the
where
crowd
we are going with Roman
last night. Like they couldn't even start MizTV.
Right.
The crowd was going. I mean, he was playing into it, obviously, kind of doing that. But
what I would love to see happen is get permission to have Dustin at the match. Just be at the match in the audience. Show him on TV. It would make it a little more special.
Yeah. The other thing too is, don't we? You talk about him losing to Roman and then winning it back. Didn't we have a thing where we were talking about how WWE should stop doing the underdog story all the time?
Yeah, but right now, everybody's the underdog to Roman.
It's ABC 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't. Do you want him to lose? And the formula. If he loses to Roman, he's eventually going to win. Why not just first meeting, boom?
I agree.
That's a shocker.
I think
that was shocking shit out of everybody.
I agree.
I just think that devalues Roman so much.
I don't think it does.
I don't think so.
I don't think it does either.
I mean,
I kind of agree with Anthony.
I mean, in story, that means the guy who's beaten so many legends like Cena. I'm forgetting the name.
Cena, Brock,
Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, Daniel Bryan, Edge. For him to lose to Cody immediately, who, obviously not, but who was the last time he was in WWE
It's
a mid
prodigal
Carter,
son.
Stardust. You know, I get he's changed and everything, but like this is something that you have to build to.
But you know what's fun if you think about it? When you don't expect it and it happens, it makes it funner. It makes it better.
I think so.
You think of like Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas. Nobody expected that to happen. Ronda Rousey losing in the UFC the first time. Nobody expected that to happen. So let's
Right.
go in and expect Roman to win, and we get the upset. You do it at the house show at MSG the day after Christmas. The rematch is at Royal Rumble, and then The Rock comes out during that match. You set up the Mania Roman match. There you go. I
Easy.
just planned the whole thing for the year.
Yeah.
Easy.
And then you can have like Seth Rollins face Cody. Seth Rollins beats Cody. They can do their feud.
That
over
could be the
title.
main event of Mania next year.
Yeah.
So.
Could be. It definitely could be. Marco, what was your match of the week?
I'm gonna go with J-Bone on that. I'm gonna go with the Code Star.
Cool.
Cody Rhodes and the Miz. I enjoy the Miz. I enjoy the Miz as well. Obviously it wasn't like a 5-star classic in the words of Uncle Dave,
Yeah.
but it was entertaining. You had Seth Rollins at the side too as well, trying to, he wasn't really doing commentary. He's more or less like a presence, just watching on, and you're gonna see Seth Rollins and the Miz kind of team up at some point and give Cody some hell. So
Yeah,
I can't wait for that to
absolutely.
happen. And there are 3 well-dressed guys. That's the other thing too. Like that's the most style I've seen in I don't know how long on Raw.
Absolutely.
Can we get
All right.
of those figures?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for the influx of elites, Cody elites that are gonna pour into the store
We
shelves.
still got 2 more Jazzwares coming out.
You get the Jazzware Supreme WWE Cody debut figure
Get
coming.
that one. I can't wait for his Ultimate Edition from Mattel. The basic, the elite.
He's still got a Unmatched Series 4 about to come out.
Match Series 4 with the
That's in a suit too, right?
Yeah, suited Cody. Yeah.
Oh,
Suited
dude, look
Cody.
at right here. I have my Mattels right here. My Cody.
I can't wait. I can't wait
They're all on
myself.
display right now. Can't wait to
I'm-
add to the collection.
I'm gonna need a Cody to add to my WWE Champion collection, which is right there. So, boom, he's gonna go right there.
Dude, what if he wins a title and he does a custom American Nightmare logo title, kind of like the smoking skull belt? But it's the American Nightmare.
I don't like custom belts.
I would
He'll
like
be,
that.
he'll be the champion of Texas, right, Tom?
Of course, he hits the wrong button. All right. Come on. We're an hour 40 in. We got to answer the question.
Who won the week?
Tom, you're the guest, so you're going last. J-Bone, who won, Raw or SmackDown?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give it to Raw. Got some really and look overall, I'm pretty excited about like a lot of the builds. We didn't even talk about all of them too much, but you got Sonya and Bianca. That was a great way to set that up.
I'm so excited.
Veer looked pretty good, even though he ejaculated all over the place. You know, he looks so good.
Yes.
Veer.
No, Veer, but he looked good. Veer looked good. Let's see who else. What else? There's some other ones I wanted to talk about real quick. On the tag team division, we already kind of brought that up, a little bit. I mean, I got some really solid storylines, going. I'm pretty excited about Raw. So, I even as goofy as it is, I'm kind of excited to see this Ezekiel lie detector test next week. Mainly because Kevin Owens is going to make it entertaining,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So solid week with Raw.
Cool, Marco.
I'm gonna go with Raw as well, and it's gonna be kind of hard to, say who won the week because as I spoke about earlier and Kyrie spoke about, they're gonna start like intermingling a lot.
That's true.
Like they're all gonna, they're gonna cross over. So, I mean, we'll see. But we forgot to mention too. Obviously, they're talking about unifying the tag titles. So we had the Usos show up on Raw. Obviously, Roman brought it up. I still think he's injured. A lot of people. I mean, I know Dave Meltzer came out and said he's not. I think he is. That's the reason why he hasn't been real. I mean, obviously Brock Lesnar's gone, so there's really nothing for him to get into any scuffles or anything like that. But I think he's injured personally. That's just
I don't think he's injured. I think that answer kind of.
It might be a minor
I don't think it's
injury.
like
It might be a minor.
life-threatening
If anything, it's a minor injury.
that's what I think.
Well, at least
I
I'm
think it's a
hoping.
minor injury. They just have him coming out doing commercials for SmackDown on Raw, and then the same thing on on SmackDown. The Usos going to be on Raw, so yeah. I mean, but Raw definitely I think was the better of the two shows, even though they had that shitty Damian Priest. Ending.
Tom, I will let you go. Who won the week?
Oh, Raw, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
hey, Tom, how crazy it is though. Like whenever you and I were doing the Raw recap months ago, we were like, "Oh my god!" Like every week, it just was like, "What are we doing here?"
That was painful to sit through it. Like literally, I just couldn't. Like it was just terrible.
Yeah, it was making this very enjoyable.
Yeah, like we were like looking at each like, oh my god, we have to go talk about this. Remember, I started the one show sleeping.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I remember one time I actually fell asleep during the main event.
Oh, dude, don't let that slip, dude. Hawk's gonna come after you about that, man. Should have said that. You just gave some ammunition.
Yeah, well, I got play on him. He's all right.
I'll go differently here. I'm gonna go with SmackDown. I thought SmackDown was a really good show. This is also me comparing it against the Raw after Mania compared to the SmackDown after Mania, which was miles ahead.
I'll let that slide, pal.
Yeah, honestly, like there were some moments that weren't necessarily great, but like a lot of my favorites, they're really starting to build something with SmackDown after Mania, which I like. Gunther, we already talked about his debut. I think it was perfect, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him. I thought his match was really a really great showing for him. Even Pete Dunne and Xavier Woods had a great match, which I don't think is getting talked about. And it's Butch. Son of a Butch. They had a really good match. The Ronda and Charlotte stuff I could do without. But Roman and Shinsuke. Shinsuke is my guy. I am so happy that he is getting this match. It's going to be a banger. WrestleMania Backlash or whenever they decide to do it. And even the stuff with the Usos, they had the promo. Roman's phenomenal. Roman's always great. This feud with Roman and Shinsuke reminds me of like what they were doing with Roman after WrestleMania, that like around that time when they were throwing him like Cesaro and Daniel Bryan. Like, I like this. I like this so much because it allows Roman to be in the ring with a really great in-ring talent. And we're going to see a great match. Like, we've seen great matches with Cesaro and Daniel Bryan with Roman Reigns. So now we're going to see that with Shinsuke. And I like that he's getting his spotlight. It's all great stuff. And those are two of my guys right now, Gunther and Shinsuke. So I'm going to pick SmackDown. Be a little different.
Solid argument.
Yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, it's time to end the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another great installment of the RAWDOWN. Tom, where can we find you?
All here Mondays on a debate show on Sessions is on Friday now. I was gonna say Wednesday. Where am I? Tuesday nights we have Fig Night. Wednesday we have the All Elite Wrap Up Show. Go to Twitter and Instagram at the OG Fig Kid. I'm finally starting to post some more.
Look at you, finally getting active on the old.
What a great
guy. Boney Storm. Where are we finding? Where Boney Storm is the link to your OnlyFans going to be in the description below.
Oh man.
Nobody wants to see that.
I won't find a picture of yours like I found the ones of Tony, honey.
Some
video.
Oh boy! Hit the buzzer on that one on your sound.
Get over to comingdowntheaislepod.com. I put up 2 new videos of Free the Fig.
I watched.
You think you know me, Edge, and I'm gonna be the judge, jury, and executioner.
Alan Jones.
Evan Jones.
Alan Jones. Since we're using the real names. Michelle McCool does the Faith Breaker better than you.
I would say it would be better than his cameo appearances, but Michael, enjoy your t-ball practice this afternoon.
Oh, Elite Scooby-Doo. That is your real name. Oh, Elite Scooby-Doo.
Oh man,
We need Undertaker cameo drops, I think, is next.
Yeah, that's the next thing we need. Chad, if you're watching, yeah, that's what we need.
That's awesome.
One for the RAWDOWN.
But no, this week, I got our buddy Freems on, and we watch CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar from 2013 SummerSlam.
Excellent.
Here we go. It's a good match.
Yeah.
Cool. Marco, where are we finding you?
Obviously, chickfullyshow.com. Join the group. Join the FB group. Bunch of great people on there.
Very great.
Definitely, if you're looking for a Batista, you definitely want to hit that up. We have the Fig God Jordan Wells just running amok, just finding Batistas left and right. So definitely join up.
Give me what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Just say that to him, and he's going to get you what you want, what you really, really want. But if
I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want.
There you go. Obviously, Chick Foley on IG. Follow Sheena there. Follow me on Twitter, Chick Foley Show. You can follow me on IG.
No.
as
Say it
well.
right. Say it right. You say it every episode.
On the Twitter machine. You can find me on the Twitter machine at Chick Foley Show.
You can find Marco on the Twitter machine.
Oh my God. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this far into the episode of the RAWDOWN. Yeah, you can find me there, and actually you can find me and Seth. I think we're going to be recording an episode of the Turnbuckle debate as well, so we'll be on there tag teaming it up, and we're working on our own thing. Yeah, we're working on our own things. You have Jordan and Seth have the Pod Warriors. They started their own. It's not really current stuff. It's more or less like nostalgia stuff. So like figures.
Fun show though,
which is pretty. Yeah, it's really awesome. I'm still working on my interview show, so that should be coming out soon, and it's pretty much it. So
dope. A lot of great stuff happening over here at the Pod Foundation. Make sure you support us. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the music is playing, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to support the Turnbuckle Tavern. Folks, if you liked what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure you go on over down to theturnbuckletavern.com, where you can find any and all places to support the Turnbuckle Tavern. That is, of course, there he is. There's the graphic. That's why you're here, Tom. You can find it on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Discord. Everywhere that you can support, on Twitch, anywhere where you can support us, please go ahead and do so. I mentioned it, Discord. All the cool kids are doing it. You can find it at theturnbuckletavern.com. Join the Discord. Talk with some amazing wrestling fans. We don't even just talk about wrestling. We talk about sports. We talk about movies. We post memes and dog pics, and it's great. We have some amazing stuff over there. Plus, if you want to support us even more, you can go on over and buy some merch. Teespring, again, theturnbuckletavern.com. On Teespring, you can get the official RAWDOWN logo on our merch, get some stickers, get some coffee mugs, anything you need, and then you can head over to prowrestlingtees.com/tavern, where you can get, is that / or /? I never know the difference. It doesn't matter. /tavern. You can whatever / just
I think it's
look at the graph. That gives a reason to watch us on YouTube if you're listening to the audio version right now. See what the / is. But you can get the Turnbuckle Tavern RAWDOWN merch with characters such as the likes of Hollywood Tony, Boney Shivani, MVP Marco. I think there's a OG Fig Kid shirt, but that's on clearance. We have the podcast schedule. Episodes releasing every day. Monday is the Turnbuckle Debate, my favorite show. I love Turnbuckle Debate. Tuesday is the Broken VCR and the fucking GCW show when GCW is on. Wednesday, hey, that's us. The RAWDOWN, the audio version, everywhere where you can find your podcast. Thursday is, of course, the flagship show, the reason why we're all here talking all things AEW Dynamite, with some guest appearances from Freems and, I don't know, someone else that we don't really care about. Hawk or someone, whatever.
Ooch.
Friday is Turnbuckle Sessions with, it's Tom and Mike Belcaster, where they talk about anything and everything, as well as Saturday with Fig Night at the Tavern. And then the live streaming. If you're listening to us right now in this very moment, you are on the YouTube machines, and you can find our entire live stream library. Mondays is the fucking GCW show. Tuesdays is a doubleheader with Fig Night and the RAWDOWN. Wednesday is the All Elite Wrap-Up show, and Thursday is the Honor Society. Dishonor Society.
Dishonor Society.
Yeah, they it's a blank space, honestly.
It's a great
show.
Looking for a fill-in.
The show's great, but people that host it are terrible.
Yeah, we're looking for a Thursday slot for the live stream if anyone wants to.
If you want to watch, maybe you could do post paint drying or something. I don't know.
Paint drying would be very nice.
The grass growing. I don't know.
Yeah, anything better than hashtag Dishonor Society in Thursday's chat, and we will send you a sticker. How about that? We won't, but an invisible sticker. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We will be back next week, as we always are, with some amazing content. But until then, take care. Spike your hair. Woo, woo, woo.
I kind of know it.
We all know it. Take care.